Hello YouTube! Today we're going to make an informative video on how to assemble and disassemble a takedown recurve bow. This is the SF Optimum recurve bow at 68 inches and with a draw weight of 38 pounds. Now this bow comes with three main parts: the riser, the two limbs, the upper and the lower limb, and two bolts. You're also going to need a bowstring, of course, and a bowstringer. Now you can do this assembly without the bowstringer, but I strongly recommend that you don't do that. Firstly, because you might damage the limbs of the bow, and secondly, you might even hurt yourself if you have a bow that has a heavy draw weight like this one. So let's begin with the process. We have to first put the lower limb on the riser. Now one may ask, which one of these parts is the lower, which is the upper? Well, that depends on whether you are left-handed or right-handed. For example, I am right-handed, as most of you I think, so I hold the bow with my left hand like this. So the lower part is this one here. So let's take the lower. Now which one of the limbs is the lower? Well, it says here on every bow that down here, I don't know if you can see, that says it's the lower. So we make sure that the lower part is pointing outwards. So let's take this limb here, hold it like this, and take the bolt and turn it like this and screw it nice and tight. Then we take the upper limb. We put it here like this on the screw. Let's take the bolt and bolt it nice and tight like we did with the lower limb. Make sure that it's tight, and we have the two limbs attached at this point. Now let's go to the most tricky part, which is how to put the string on. Now the string, the bowstring, has two loops, and you can see that this one is a little bit bigger than this one. So we're going to put the larger loop over the top and the smaller loop over the bottom. So we take the big loop, put it over the upper limb, and put it like this, being somewhat loose. Then we move to the other side, take the small loop, and put the small loop on the lower limb and put it in the groove here as tight as we can. Let the bow down. The same thing applies with the bowstringer. As we can see, there are different types of bowstringers. This one is the type that has two leather sockets. We have a large socket and a small socket. We're going to put the large socket on the lower limb and the small socket on the upper limb. So let's do that. Socket and put it on the lower limb. Secure it tight like this. Make sure that the bowstring is on the groove, and then let's take the other socket of the bowstringer, the small one, and put it on the top of the upper limb. So now we take the bow and we put it down like this, and we press the bowstringer with both of our feet, and then we just pull it up with one of our hands. We see the limbs have some pressure on them, and we make sure that the loop is on the upper limb like that, and we're all set. We take out the bowstringer and our bow is ready for use, as you can see here. You can see it's all set up. We make sure that the string is on these grooves here on both sides. Now, to disassemble the bow, the takedown bow, we do the same procedure but in the opposite order. So again, let's take the large socket and put it on the bottom side like this, secure it, and the small socket of the bowstringer on the upper limb like this. Again, we press on the bowstringer and we pull it with one hand, and then we take the string here, relax the pressure, take out the bowstringer, move the string from the bow, put it on the table, and of course then you just have to unscrew the bolts. This is an easy process, so you can store your bow away. Now it's nice that you don't leave your bow, if you have a takedown bow, you don't leave your bow or bow that is in one part, you don't leave it with the string on for a long period of time. So I would advise you to get a bowstring. It costs around €5, $5, and you have your bow disassembled when you're not using it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'm gonna follow with a video with some shots of the recurve bow.